Let's talk about just the power of networking. The simple truth is, networking is one of the most powerful tools that you have to grow your bookkeeping business. Why? Because people hire those that they like and they trust. Think about your own experience. When you need a service, whether it's a plumber, a hairstylist, or even someone to help you with childcare, you are more than likely going to hire someone who comes recommended to you or someone you've met that you feel comfortable with. That's exactly what networking is. Networking creates those kind of opportunities. So for bookkeepers, networking is especially important. So first, let's talk about just the power of networking. The simple truth is, networking is one of the most powerful tools that you have to grow your bookkeeping business. Why? Because people hire those that they like and they trust. Think about your own experience. When you need a service, whether it's a plumber, a hairstylist, or even someone to help you with childcare, you are more than likely going to hire someone who comes recommended to you or someone you've met that you feel comfortable with. That's exactly what networking is. Networking creates those kind of opportunities. So for bookkeepers, networking is especially important. Business owners often don't realize how much they need until you meet with them. And those of you that have multiple clients can speak to that. When you network effectively, you position yourself as a solution to their problems, whether it's messy books, tax season, stress, or simply not knowing where their money's going, giving them visibility to their cash flow. Networking also creates opportunities for referrals. When you build relationships, people naturally want to help you succeed. They'll introduce you to others who need your service. But here's the key: networking is not about selling. It's about building relationships. It's about showing up. It's about offering value. A lot of you on the call we've done mentoring sessions with, and I tell you a lot that, I talk about the 80-20 rule often. 80% offering value, 20% talking about you and the services. We're not shy, or we're not short in this society of people wanting to sell us something. Just open up your personal Gmail, and you'll find the 2 or 3 actual emails that are real emails out of the 100 in one day that are people wanting to sell you something. But how often is someone there looking to add value? So it's about letting people get to know you and what you bring to the table in the relationship. Now we're going to cover why networking matters. Let's talk about where to focus your efforts at. As a bookkeeper, networking isn't just about gaining clients. It's about positioning yourself as a trusted advisor. Let me explain what I mean. When you attend a networking event, not only it's not only an event for you to simply hand out your business cards and hope for someone to call you out. Oftentimes we think that networking events, we're just going to go in and we're going to just throw out a whole bunch of business cards and all of a sudden the phone's going to magically ring. No. Here's an example. You might hear when someone say, "I'm so behind in my books, I don't know where to start," or "tax season always such a headache." These are golden opportunities for you to step in, not by pitching your business and pitching your service, by simply offering tips or a piece of advice or some helpful information or something like that. When you take the time to understand their needs and provide value up front, this is where you build trust. You show that you're not just trying to sell them something, that you're generally invested in helping them succeed. So, real quick, I want to know out there, if you're part of a networking group today, just type yes in the chat. If you're part of the networking group today, if you're not part of a networking group, then type no in the chat, just so that we get an idea of how many people are part of a networking group. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got Jen, always the overachiever, 4 networking groups. I love that. So let's see, about half are in networking groups and half aren't. That's a good mix. So not all networking groups are created equal. One of the biggest mistakes that I see, and over half of you, maybe two-thirds of you, I've done a mentoring session with, and one of the biggest mistakes I see bookkeepers make is trying to network everywhere and spreading yourself way too thin. The best results need to be strategic. The goal is to focus your time and your energy on groups that align with your niche or your ideal clients. And really, when you're evaluating these networking groups, you need to ask yourself these questions. One, who's the target audience? Does this group include these type of people or businesses that I want to work with, that I'm comfortable working with? You know, how active and engaged are these groups? Are the members showing up? Are they participating? Are they building relationships? Is it more than just a social club? And this goes for virtual and in-person type of events. Is it more than just people getting there to talk about what they're doing that weekend or what vacation they're going on? Are they really there to build and to add value? Also, what's the cost? Some of these groups require membership fees like BNI. We're going to talk about that in a second. But there's so many out there that don't. But you want to make sure that the potential return on your investment justifies the expense. Don't feel like you just need to join a paid networking group because everyone else is. Get in there and really understand, are they adding value, or are you just paying money to pay money to say that you're part of a BNI group? And then lastly, are there really opportunities to increase your visibility? Are there leadership roles? Are there speaking engagements? And we're going to talk about that here towards the end, about getting out of your shell and really getting comfortable talking about your business. But by being intentional about the groups you join, you're going to maximize your chances of meeting the right people and really building those meaningful connections. And you may try 3 or 4 different networking groups until you find one that you feel comfortable with, one that you feel that you're comfortable engaging, you're comfortable talking about your business. So now we're going to take a little bit closer look at different types of networking groups. First, we're going to talk about the obvious ones, BNI. We talk a lot in the academy about BNI, and the other one is chamber of commerces. You think about any major city near you, there are probably, in suburbs, there are probably 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 different chamber of commerces within a 100-mile radius of you, depending upon where you live. If you live closer to a metropolitan area, then it's far more than that. So what are these groups? These are formal professional networking organizations, and they're really designed to help members connect. They're designed for people to grow their business and to support local business communities. So, what are the benefits of these? So first, these groups give you exposure to a broad range of industries. You're going to meet business owners, you're going to meet managers, professionals from all walks of life. Next, many of these associations host frequent events such as mixers, luncheons, educational seminars, webinars, online and offline. And what you're going to find, and what a lot of you have found, is especially in the post-pandemic world that we live in, there is just as many virtual networking events or there are in-person networking events. Virtual networking events really started taking off. So take a look at what type of activities, these type of big, like chambers, like BNI, they give you so many opportunities to network and showcase your experience. Lastly, these groups often include established business leaders who are well known and connected that can introduce you. Keep in mind, like I told you before, when we surveyed our academy students, you add up referrals and networking, 52% of our students said they either found clients through networking groups or referrals. So I think it was like 26, 26. 26% said it was networking groups, and 26% said it was either referrals from existing clients or referrals from others. And so really, this is an opportunity for you to build not only a solid lead source for actual businesses, but also to get high quality referrals. So how do you leverage these groups? First, you need to start by attending consistently. Showing up regularly helps these people recognize you. They remember you. If you just sporadically pop in once ever so often, they're not going to really have an opportunity to see you as a member. You're more like a visitor. Also, volunteer for leadership roles or committees. For example, you could offer to help plan an event or to lead a discussion or on small business finances or lead a discussion of best practices for record keeping or end of the year planning, financial planning, things like that. So offer to get involved. Even if you're shy with public speaking, there's so many other different ways that you could offer to get involved that gives you visibility. You can offer to be one that sends out reminders, that sends out communications, things like that. So you're looking for opportunities to be visible. So you're not just talking about yourself and your business. So look for opportunities to give presentations or workshops. For example, you could offer a session on how to prepare for tax season, how to file 1099s, how to improve cash flow management. There's so many opportunities. Keep in mind, as I said earlier, 80/20, and you're going to hear me talk about this a lot. 80% adding value, 20% showcasing your business, your experience, what you do, but it starts with adding value.